Now, when President Buhari won the hearts of Nigerians in elections, he vowed to stamp out corruption. While on his crusade of anti-corruption, Nigeria has seen an unprecedented call for accountability. The initial signs of President Buhari's commitment to rooting graft out at the highest level of office was the arrest of former Petroleum Minister Diezani Alison Madueke for misappropriation of billions of naira belonging to Nigeria's state-owned company. The former oil minister consistently denied any wrongdoing, although many have recognized President Buhari's gains in clamping down on government spending and waste. Well, let's see how that fight is ongoing in Nigeria. And CCTV Sophia Adengo, she's joining me now from Abuja. Sophia, after several months in office, though, what do Nigerians make of President Buhari's efforts to fight corruption?
Well, Beatrice, you know, from a Nigerian standpoint, the population of almost 170, 180 million people are more than, of course, keeping their ear to the ground and holding President Muhammad Buhari to his promise of vowing to stamp out any kind of graft, especially within government organization that seems to be a regular sort of everyday part of living. So this has been a real turnaround, especially from the presidency on the way down. You did mention, you know, the first sort of big, overwhelming arrest of the former oil minister, Alison Madueke, and that was literally the can of worms, so to speak, that saw other key figures in the administration also coming to terms with what they have been called I guess, mismanagement and fraud. The biggest case so far, of course, is Colonel Sambo Dasuki. He was a former security advisor to President Goodluck Jonathan, the former president of Nigeria, and he has come to the forefront because of a massive $2 billion and plus dollars that was allocated to the fight against Boko Haram in the northeast, and a 13-member committee that was formed by President Muhammad Buhari really to internally check the, you know, the course of the systems that surround procurement has seen mass and gross graft, especially with Colonel Sambo Dasuki's office, the National Security Advisor. So at this time, Colonel Dasuki is out on bail. However, it's looking a bit grim for him in terms of answering to charges of almost 100 counts of fraud, including, you know, setting up organizations or businesses that did not exist in the procurement process, that would see helicopters and hardware and guns supplied to troops in the frontline fight against Boko Haram at this time. Beatrice?
Well, Sophia, President Buhari, though, has vowed a zero tolerance on corruption, but there are allegations that the president's actions focus more on former members belonging to Goodluck Jonathan's People's Democratic Party, PDP. Is that a fair assessment, though?
Well, you know, Beatrice, President Muhammad Buhari has said, quote, he will not lose sleep over his critics concerning corruption. And the idea behind that is that President Muhammad Buhari is no longer afraid to step forward as a leader, not only of the collective Nigerian community, but also as a leader of the All Progressives Party that voted him in. And even though there are direct allegations that a lot of the members who have been put in the dock to answer over allegations of mismanagement and fraud did belong to the People's Progressive Party, you know, for the People's Democratic Party, excuse me, PDP, the former Jonathan's party, it is really up to the courts to judge and this 13-member committee to see who is in charge of what funds and what those funds actually did. This is more a focus on public office and the issue of you know, waste and the amounts of monies allocated within these government organizations in order to see that, you know, whatever the amounts were allocated for actually reached, you know, their final destination in rolling out these programs. You know, earlier last year and into late last year, we saw all kinds of individuals facing these type of allegations. Surprisingly also was, you know, the EFCC, which is responsible, government organization responsible for the anti-corruption campaign itself, seeing its boss sacked as well as key officials. So it is, of course, you know, one of those situations where on a political level one can assume that it is a witch hunt for, you know, APC against PDP. But on the other hand, it's a cleanup on behalf of President Muhammad Buhari.
Right, Sophia Adengo there for us in Abuja, Nigeria.